Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Coming Home to Yourself podcast. I'm your host, Vanessa, and here we'll dive into everything healing, mindset, confidence, manifestation, and how to become your most empowered self, aka coming home to yourself. In this episode, you'll learn a little more on my background, where I came from, and what actually got me to follow my purpose and do what I do now. So first off, obviously, I'm Vanessa. I'm 25 years old, and I'm from the little tiny country, Luxembourg in Europe. So, with my story, I'm going to start off by saying that I was a really insecure and shy kid. So, from a young age on, I remember that I had difficulties finding friends because I was too shy to speak up. So, I didn't dare to go to somebody and talk to them. One of my only memories, actually, from preschool is me always sitting at one of the tables playing with Legos and stuff by myself. At the same time, I grew up with mostly boys, meaning my parents' friends had almost only sons, and even at school, I had a hard time getting along with girls at first. So I learned to be mentally tough and physically strong from an early age on, but bear in mind at the same time, I was so insecure, I just didn't know what to do with myself. So this was kind of my cover up, this was kind of my mask, and this is just how I went with it. So this is also how this whole tomboy era started for me. I became a guy's girl from the age of 4 on. I played war with them, had fake guns, played soccer, played basketball, beat each other up, dressed in oversized t-shirts. At some point, I'm pretty sure I remember even going to school, sagging my pants and wearing boxer shorts underneath them just to look cool. And I know what you think now. This doesn't sound like somebody who's super shy or insecure at all, but that's the point. I became really good at putting on this mask, at pretending, at playing superior when in reality I felt completely inferior. Now, how did I notice that? Exactly. Through girls. And sister wound, here we are. As I've said, I've never been able to confront someone by myself. So when girls started coming to me in middle school and wanting to be friends with me, of course I didn't miss out on the opportunity. Of course I said yes. Of course I jumped onto it. Thus began this vicious cycle of me always being part of the group of the, let me say, popular kids. And it's funny because we have this insecure girl who feels like this ugly duckling, but she hangs out with the cool guys and the pretty girls. Something doesn't add up, right? Something just simply doesn't make sense. And this went on from middle school to all throughout high school, actually, for me. So I became friends with a lot of people, girls and guys in high school as well. I had a lot of different best friends, a lot of different close friends, and then people who were just acquaintances, right? That I met in my daily life. I went to all the parties, I started drinking, doing drugs every now and then, got into huge fights with my parents, hung out every time after school on the weekends, got into a narcissistic relationship on top of that, had toxic friendships develop, and all the things. I mean, I was rarely home at the age of 14 to 18 now that I think about it. It was insane. But underneath all of that was still this little girl who didn't dare to speak up, who didn't dare to defend herself, who didn't feel beautiful at all, right? Who just followed everyone else around and did what everyone else did. I dressed like them, I started talking like them, I started looking like them, I started acting like them, and all for what? To fit in, to feel like I belonged, to feel home somewhere, to feel important, to feel loved. That's all I was looking for: love, attention, approval. And I felt like the only way I could get that was if I was part of these people. I thought if I just pretended to be confident, if I just pretended to be secure in myself, to be cool, to be better than everybody else, to be this leader, to be someone, people would love me. People would accept me. I would actually feel this way. But let's be honest, it doesn't work that way. And that's why I also hate the saying, fake it until you make it, because in my opinion, that's not even true. That's just another form of spiritual bypassing again. Because inside, I've never felt like it. I never actually believed it. I was a pretender. And I was a liar. And I was damn good at it. Okay? And during those times of my childhood, all throughout my teenage years, I experienced and survived many different things. And maybe if you couldn't relate to me so far, you can after this. So, this was ranging from sexual assault in multiple forms and multiple times throughout my life, to gaslighting and psychological manipulation, from mild anxiety to tough phases of depression, and even suicidal thoughts. From mental and physical abuse by myself and others to going through an eating disorder, from two-facedness, including myself as well, to betrayal in friendships, from being sexualized to being objectified pretty much my whole life, from messy situationships to a narcissistic and toxic relationship and ugly breakup, from being unsatisfied with my life, doing heavy people pleasing, having difficulty finding happiness in everyday life, portraying self sabotaging and unhealthy behaviors, to absolutely zero self worth and no self confidence. You name it, I've been there. I've been stressed the fuck out my whole life up until this work. I've been through it. I'm also not telling you this to get any sympathy points or pity. I truly hope that by sharing superficially what I've been partly through, you can relate and simply feel heard. You can see that betterment, empowerment, all the things, healing is possible for you as well, right? And after all, traumatic experiences are not the same for everybody. Maybe you've had worse experiences than I did. Maybe you've had better ones, who knows? It doesn't really matter in the end. What is bad for one person can be nothing to another. Okay? I mean, just because you've never been the R word doesn't mean that the sexual assault that you've experienced hasn't been just as traumatizing to you. Okay? Just because you've never been in a narcissistic relationship doesn't mean that your toxic one didn't have as bad of an impact and fucked you up as well. Just because your parents didn't get a divorce or physically abuse you at some point doesn't mean that their parenting style or generational trauma didn't still affect you very negatively and left marks on you. Pain is different to everybody, but at the end of the day, the trauma, the experiences, the wounds all come down to the same thing. We all need healing. And I know a lot of girls are going through the same or similar experiences, but just don't dare to speak up, or they don't know where to start. I didn't know where to start. But here, let me tell you, you're in the right place. And just a disclaimer, as I was reflecting on my time back, I realized that so many of my best memories happened simultaneously to these very bad experiences. And although a lot of people that entered my life throughout childhood and my teenage years were merely big lessons, they also are now memories I'm very grateful for, no matter how bad it was. And at the end of the day, I did have some of the best times of my life during all these years, right? The only difference is that now I matured, now I healed, now I grew up, I have a smaller circle, I changed my habits, my personality and my way of living are just completely different, right? So just keep in mind that not everything has to be just negative or just positive, okay? Not everything is black and white. Remember, there's duality in everything. And you can find the good in the bad, but also don't be blind to the bad in the good. That's also how your attachment to the chaos and the trauma and all of those negative experiences are formed, right? You get addicted to those times specifically because the good times are not only good, they are great, right? But as much as you have those highs, you have to realize that the lows are very low as well. And at the end of the day, that's not healthy. There's duality, but both extremes are not good either way. You need a balance. Okay? So, with that being said, through all that, I have decided that I don't want to be a victim of my circumstances anymore, but I wanted to become the leader and the CEO of my own life. A fulfilled, happy, and secure life, and definitely not an average life. I got interested in many different topics, and over the past years, I've learned so much about the depths of true spirituality, deep personal development, and healing work. And I'm still doing inner work every single day and learning more about myself every single day, right? In the meantime, I became a certified coach this year, specializing in healing and embodiment. I got my bachelor's degree in psychology, and I intend on doing a master's in the next years as well. I learned the different Warkey levels and became a master in it, actually. I got into things like neuro-linguistic programming techniques and deep mindset work that I absolutely adore. I am super interested in shadow work and energy work as well, which to me is part of spirituality. And it's not enough. There's still so much that I want to explore, learn, and embrace, and embody above all to grow further, right? So here I am today teaching you how to do the same. I am here to fulfill my purpose, and I know the reason why my soul was put on this earth. I am here to guide you in order for you to find your purpose, to find your own fulfillment within yourself. And when you enter my world, I will lead you to become your most confident, healthy, and healed and empowered self. And in my world, we're bypassing all of this surface level self help and quick fixes bullshit. I'm not about letting you tell yourself your 5 affirmations every day, write down 3 things that you're grateful for, journal without integrating shit, just existing into your everyday life instead of actually living it, right? We're past all of that. Fuck that, okay? Forget about this. I am here to teach you how to actually become your unstoppable self and the ultimate example of embodiment. Because at the end of the day, no matter what you do, no matter how much you learn, without embodiment and integrity, you are still nothing. All right? All the while, I'm still learning. I'm still evolving. I too am still getting and doing better for myself every single day. I learned so many lessons in my young 25 years, and many are still ongoing. Many are still yet to come, right? So you can grow with me, but I am ready. My question is, are you? Maybe not, maybe you never will be, but I still hope that you choose better for yourself, that you choose more for yourself, and that you choose coming home to yourself with me. So, without further ado, I would say let's dive right into season 1 of the Coming Home to Yourself podcast. Now, for real. I'm your host, Vanessa. Thank you for listening, and I cannot wait to start this journey with you. Bye.